How's it going, you guys? It's Scott with the Everyday Home Repairs Help and the Everyday Home Repairs channel. And we're going to go through episode 5 with 3 more of your questions that came in over the last few weeks. Questions this week will actually cover rental properties and a little bit more on the investing side. Then we'll go into electrical and we'll finish off with a plumbing question. And then just a reminder below each of these videos. So if I click into one of these videos, you'll see underneath, how can I help submit your question? You click on that and that's going to take you over to our submission form. So you can just put in your first name. Let's say you're Bob from Illinois, bobsmith@gmail. I have gutter issues, please help. Obviously a little bit more details than that is going to be beneficial. And then pictures. So you have a maximum of 5 pictures you can submit. Fill those up, that's awesome. More pictures, the better. Usually you want to zoom out, kind of set the scene, what's going on, and then kind of hone in on specifically what exactly your question is. And then from that list, that's how I'm selecting these 3 questions per week. So first question comes from Ben in Indiana, and like we said, it's on rentals or even Airbnbs. Ben's question says, I am thinking about getting a rental property. I have heard you mention you have rentals and Airbnbs. Do you think it is better to have standard rentals or convert to an Airbnb? So rentals. I am a huge fan of investing in real estate. Now, I've been doing that for about 12 years now, and really my involvement in getting single family, duplex, triplex, 3-unit type of properties, that was kind of the origin of this channel, Everyday Home Repairs, at least for that channel. I was getting involved, I was fixing more things, I was building out my tools and my knowledge base, and I just wanted to document some of the learnings along the way to help new homeowners, beginning and intermediate DIYers. So I've continued both of those paths. Obviously, I've continued doing the YouTube and kind of the online business side of things, but I've also continued rentals. I've stayed pretty traditional into the 1-unit to 4-unit categories. I've slowly built out my portfolio, and I think it's an awesome way to kind of prep for retirement. So prep for some forced savings, kind of building up some savings over time as you start paying off your properties. And it kind of just sets you up for hopefully later on some cash flow during your retirement where you don't have to worry about other investments and you can really just live off your rentals. That was kind of my whole focus with doing it. Now, I also knew that interest rates were historically low. I knew that about 10 years ago. So I could get fixed interest 30-year financing against these duplexes and triplexes. So I was really focused on that. And really, it's only till now that interest rates on mortgages have really went up, that's really starting to look like a good idea back then and starting to pay off. So I think rental properties are great. I would start with rental properties and hopefully you have something to bring to the table. So I don't want to get too derailed here because I can talk about rental properties all day, but are you handy? Will you fix things yourself and you can save on maintenance costs? Okay, that's one. What about managing your property? If you don't manage your property, someone else does, that's 8 to 10% of your rent. So that's going to eat into your cash flow or your potential profit. Do you have access to off-market deals or some type of home that is being sold for under market price? So you're getting a really good price right away. That is also another thing. Now, if you don't have any of these and you also want to invest remotely, so maybe you live in a super high price market, you live in LA, you want to invest in Cleveland or Cincinnati, Ohio, because the cash flow looks better. So you're not going to fix anything. You're not managing it. You're paying for that. You're remote. You don't know the area. I don't think that's a good idea, to be honest with you. It can be done, but you're just not really bringing anything to the table to give you a strategic advantage. So at least from my strategy, it's been keeping it like my buddy, Coach Carson he has a book and his second book coming out on Bigger Pockets. And he also has a YouTube channel. He really preaches small but mighty investors. So keeping it small, but being involved, being conservative, and just growing that over, to be honest with you, decades. So that is my strategy with rentals. Now I also do Airbnbs. Here is an example of my truck yesterday with a ton of Amazon and IKEA furniture and furnishing. So I'm furnishing 3 Airbnbs right now and getting those online. Airbnb, short-term rentals, or even what's called midterm rentals, like a month-long or longer rental, are great. You can get additional cash flow, but don't be mistaken that you are in the hospitality game now, not just the rental game. So you need to host people. You need to go above and beyond. You need to be on top of all of your maintenance, all of the touches. You need to do way more decorating, and you need to just really maintain that property at a level that you would just never, ever, ever approach in the normal rental game. So it is quite a bit different. There is cash flow to be had. I'm not huge on the vacation markets as Airbnbs. I'm just a little leery on those in the next few years. So I just do Airbnbs within college town. So there's always people coming and going. There's traveling scholars, traveling nurses, people that are doing road projects or building a large new facility at the university that are going to be in town for 2 to 3 months. So I provide basically housing for those. That increases my cash flow over a traditional rental, but it's not quite on the end of short-term rentals where somebody's coming in and out every night. That is a lot of work, a ton of cleaning, and can be a ton of headaches, honestly. So massive fan in rentals. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Let me know if you guys have rentals down in the comments and what you think of it. Is it a smart decision? For me, I tell everybody this is a long-term game. So don't think it's a 5-year game. To be honest, don't even think it's a 10-year game. For me, my targets are 20 years plus. That is what I'm targeting. That is what I'm going to. And if you can do that, then it absolutely be an awesome decision. All right, question number 2, Matt from Florida. And I put this under electrical, but it's kind of almost home entertainment. And Matt says, I have a living room with a cathedral ceiling. The whole attic is spray foamed with insulation. We are in Florida, so there's no basement or crawl space. I like to run an Ethernet cable across the room for connectivity reasons. How do you deal with this? Well, Matt, this is actually something I did just a couple months back. So if we go to, let's just go to the Everyday Home Repairs channel, get over there, stop the intro video, and go to the #1 video. So this is the most popular video on my channel, over 297 videos. This is the one. And this video is pretty much exactly what you're looking for. So let's dive in. I'm going to show you the part specifically that I think fits your needs. So I'm going to go along here. And what that is, so I did your exact project, but I was just running Romex to another outlet, and you'll be bringing like coax or Ethernet cable through the wall. So what it is, I took off the trim, and you can see the drywall underneath the trim. So right at the base of your wall, and then I'm using an oscillating tool with an old wood blade and a block as a template. And I'm just sliding that along. That block is 1/4 of an inch less in height than the trim. So I'm kind of hiding that cut line behind the trim when I replace it. So I'm just cutting a long strip along that wall. I'm going to pop that strip off, kind of expedite here a little bit. I'm going to pop it off in one piece, and now I have access to underneath. Clean it up a little bit. Then I marked my hole there for the old work box. Now for you, so I was installing an old work box. You do not need to do that. You're dealing with low voltage. So actually you're just going to have one of these, similar. You're going to cut it out. You're going to put it in the wall. The tabs are going to hold to the back of the drywall. You tighten that screw, and this holds it in place, and then your Ethernet or coax cable can come through this, and then you get your faceplate on, and then that's how you will terminate, or that will be your ending connection. Hopefully that gets you across your room. So that is exactly how I would do that. A link in the description that will take you right to that video. And that should be pretty much exactly what you're looking for. But also let me know in the comments, or don't forget, your question is going to be over on our forum, our Q&A forum over on Everyday Home Repairs. So for all of you guys, you can jump over. If you're coming into the main window on Everyday Home Repairs, let's jump over there. You'll see this Q&A forum. That's where all of these questions that we've went over from our previous 4 episodes, and then these 3 questions will be out there as well. You can go in there, and if you have any follow-up questions or if anybody else has anything to note, just go ahead and add it. So you got to sign up to that, so you'll be able to not just view, you'll be able to actually answer these questions. So you can start contributing, but also you can get additional information just in case I was a little bit off base with your question. All right, so finishing off with question 3, and that is from Trey in Kansas, and it's a plumbing question. How to fix a leaking frost-free spigot. So this would be an outdoor spigot. The plumber slightly tightened the packing, that's the packing nut, and it is leaking again. Is there a specific replacement type for specific frost-free, or are they universal? How do I replace them? So that is a good question and very timely. So in the Midwest, we're going into the months where we're going to start to get into freezing. So don't forget to take that hose off. So let's make sure we're taking the hoses off of all of our outdoor spigots. Let's go ahead and drain that water out of those hoses so they don't freeze up into a big ball or big coil of frozen water. And then specifically for the spigot. So not everybody's in markets where you have frost-free. So you might be used to a spigot like this where the plumbing or water comes directly in, connects up, and then you just have a simple globe valve within here. So if I take off this nut, you guys will see what I'm talking about. So then I can loosen this up. And what happens is water comes in on the low side, then there's a little bit of a diaphragm, and then there's a flat washer that basically is tightened against that diaphragm. So there's this flat washer that is a serviceable part. It does wear out over time. That is what we're screwing down onto that diaphragm, and that cuts off the path of water. So that is the simplest spigot, but in the northern states, why these are not popular is because you would not want water coming all the way out here and being exposed to the elements, exposed to freezing, exposed to frost, right? Because then you're going to freeze. We're going to have a failure at that pipe. It's going to burst open, and we're going to have a massive water leak and a massive issue. So Trey, on your specific frost-free, it's like this. Let me take this guy off. Sounds like the plumber came out to your home. Yours is a little different design, but it's almost exactly the same as this. So then we had this packing nut right here, right? So that is what was tightened, maybe. And I always forget, this is actually reverse thread, so it's not righty-tighty on these. So you'll take that out, and what that is doing is when water comes through your pipe of your frost-free and goes out to your hose, this makes it so it doesn't come through the handle. But you're having leaking. So what is going on there? I'll put my handle back on so I can pull out this shaft here. So what is going on is here we have a little graphite washer. That is what's sealing against this packing nut, and that is what's making it so water does not come out of the handle itself. He tried to pack that for you, but it doesn't seem like it's working. So if he only tightened that, you can get some graphite string, or there are a few different types of string. You can twist around or look for packing, the packing procedure here. I also have a video for a main water shutoff where I was packing to try to stop a leak. And that's assuming that when it's on, you're having a leak. Now, when it's off, if you're having a leak, you, have an issue at the packing nut, but also, let me take this guy out. So also at the end, in this case, 12 inches inside the wall. So now I have my surface that's cutting off the water. That is all the way within my wall. So it keeps it out of the freezing. So you probably have a flat washer that's busted up and it's not sealing correctly. So you can go ahead and fix that. And if you want to dive deeper into that, and if you want to dive deeper in that exact topic, I, believe it or not, have a video for you. So check out this video right here. It shows you how to open that up and swap out that exact washer. And it's a very approachable job that you can take on yourself if you don't want to call back out that plumber. So thanks for joining me this week, and we'll catch you on next week's episode. Take care.